When William the Conqueror became the King of England in 1066, he introduced a new system of government that would have a profound impact on the English language. But why? Let's find out. It all started when William, Duke of Normandy, aka William the Conqueror, invaded England in 1066. Now, before William showed up, the English language was, well, English. But after his conquest, the English language was never quite the same. You see, when William took over England, he brought with him a bunch of French-speaking followers who were more familiar with French than English, and because they were in charge, they started using French words to describe things. For example, the English word for law is lac. It comes from the Old English word lagu, which means public declaration. But after the Norman conquest, the French word loi or law started getting used a lot, too. Eventually, the two words merged to create one. Legal. The same thing happened with the word government. The Old English word for governor was steward. Basically, it meant someone who led or governed a household. But after the Norman conquest, the French word gouverneur started getting used more often. Eventually, these two words merged to create the modern English word government. The word parliament is another example. The Old English word for assembly or gathering was gemmet. But after the Norman conquest, the French word parliament started getting used more often. Over time, these two words merged to create parliament. And it wasn't just about replacing words. The French influence led to a whole bunch of new words in English. For example, the Norman conquest brought a bunch of new foods to England, like beef, pork, and mutton. And because the French words for these foods were closer to the sounds in the English language, they replaced the existing words. But hold on, because there's more. The French also brought new foods like sugar and rice, since the English language didn't have words for these foods. It borrowed the French words sucre and riz, which eventually evolved into sugar and rice. The same thing happened with the word honor. In Old English, they didn't really have an exact equivalent, but the French word honneur influenced the English word honor. In fact, so many French words got incorporated into the English language after the Norman conquest that some people consider this a turning point in the history of the English language. So, thanks to William the Conqueror, we now have words like beef, pork, mutton, sugar, rice, honor, government, parliament, legal, and so many more. And that's why